heaven, West Virginia.
Hey guys, this is Matt, and today I'm going to show you a video from Kyrsten Sinema where she is saying she agrees with the rest of the Democrats that they need to pass these two bills to make elections run by the federal government. Now, I'm against that. I don't like the idea of it. I think it belongs to the states. The states need to decide how they want to run their own elections. Federal government have no place in that. The Constitution says that. Not only that, it is something that all that would happen is the Democrats would get control of it and make it almost impossible for Republicans to win. Now, Kyrsten Sinema says that, but then she says in the speech she will not vote for getting rid of the filibuster. Well, then there's a video of Joe Biden where he loses his mind about it. And he's saying he will go to war with the legislature in order to get these bills passed. Now, one of the bills is called H.R. 1 for the People's Act. Really what it should be called is for the Democrats Act. Now, first video I'm going to show you is the one from Kyrsten Sinema where she is giving this impassioned speech on the Senate floor. So check it out.
I share the concerns of civil rights advocates and others I've heard from in recent months about these state laws. I strongly support those efforts to contest these laws in court and to invest significant resources into these states to better organize and stop efforts to restrict access at the ballot box. And I strongly support and will continue to vote for legislative responses to address these state laws, including the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act that the Senate is currently considering. I support these bills because they strengthen Americans' access to the ballot box, and they better ensure that Americans' votes are counted fairly. It is through elections that Americans make their voices heard, select their representatives, and guide the future of our countries and our community. These bills help treat the symptoms of the disease, but they do not fully address the disease itself. And while I continue to support these bills, I will not support separate actions that worsen the underlying disease of division infecting our country. The debate over the Senate's 60-vote threshold shines a light on our broader challenges. There's no need for me to restate my long-standing support for the 60-vote threshold to pass legislation. There's no need for me to restate its role protecting our country from wild reversals in federal policy. It is a view I've held during my years serving in both the U.S. House and the Senate, and it is the view I continue to hold. It is the belief that I have shared many times in public settings and in private settings.
All right, guys, that's the end of the video. And I've already said I disagree with her on the H.R. 1 bill as well as the other voting bill. But I'm willing to give her credit because she's coming out there and saying she still will not get rid of the filibuster. That means she has integrity. That's something that most of the other Democrats in the Senate or the House, none of them have. Very few of them do, at least. And another one that does, I believe, is Joe Manchin when it comes to the filibuster. He said he's not going to vote to get rid of it either. So this kind of makes these election bills dead on arrival. Now, Joe Biden hears about it. He gets angry. And he has his own little 1-minute speech to the press. So go ahead and check that video out now.
Is this mic on? I guess. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure either. But anyway, I hope we can get this done. But I'm not sure. But one thing for certain. Like every other major civil rights bill that came along, if we missed the first time, we can come back and try it a second time. We missed this time. And the state legislative bodies continue to change the law, not as to who can vote, but who gets to count the vote. Count the vote. It's about election subversion, not just whether or not people get to vote. Who counts the vote? That's what this is about. That's what makes this so different than anything else we've ever done. I don't know that we can get it done, but I know one thing. As long as I have a breath in me, as long as I'm in the White House, as long as I'm engaged at all, I'm going to be fighting to change the way these legislatures have moving. Thank you.
All right, guys, that's the end of the video. And what is Joe Biden upset about? And what exactly is he talking about when he's saying what matters is who counts the votes? And where is he getting this argument from or this idea from? He's getting it from what happened in Virginia in November. What happened? Youngkin won, a Republican, which they haven't had a Republican governor in Virginia in almost a decade. Why did he win? Plain and simple, he won because the Republicans in that state were engaged. Not only that, they volunteered their time at the polls. 95% of the poll positions that were open to the Republicans, they filled. Now, if you look at what happened in 2020, they only filled 25% of those positions. So when the Democrats saw that, it scared the hell out of them. And they realized Republicans are getting more engaged in the polls. Now, Democrats, every election, had those kind of numbers, around 80 to 95%. Now, I got a question for the Democrats and for Joe Biden. Okay, your party is covering 95% of the positions you can cover at these polls. And so are the Republicans. How's that not fair? It seems like it'd be ultimately fair because anything that needs to be caught by either party will be caught. And that's fair to me. So why do you want to federalize the elections? Is it because of this, or is it because of laws like the voter ID law that's going on in Georgia, Texas, and Arizona? Is that your problem? Or is it because you're worried about who's actually counting the votes, like Joe Biden says? And the quote he is saying is interesting because he's actually plagiarizing it from someone else. And I'm not going to say who this person is, but the actual quote is, it doesn't matter who votes. It matters who counts the vote. Now, I'm one of these people, I disagree. It matters who actually votes. And I'm going to go out there and vote every time that I need to vote because I believe that's the only way you're going to fix things in this country. The idea that I'm going to sit home and just watch and see what happens, if I do that, I don't have a right to actually complain and do videos like this. But guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please hit like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Peace.